Hello everyone, welcome in our webinar focused on functional card and mobile payment application testing. In this webinar, we will explain how to improve card and mobile payment application testing. This webinar will last 45 minutes. If you have questions during the webinar, please wait for a session dedicated to a Q&A at the end of this webinar. This session will be recorded and will be published on the Fime website. You will be able to listen back to it and share it with your work colleagues. So you will be asked during the webinar to participate to a live poll sessions using the Slido platform. It's pretty easy. First, go on the slide.com website, then enter the code FIME, capital F-I-M-E, and start the poll. Please also take 2 seconds to complete the 5 questions survey when we leave the webinar. Thank you very much. So let's start. So let me introduce myself. My name is Reza Ramanifa. I'm heading the product management at Fime since 2017 with responsibilities on building tools and test services roadmap.
Hello everyone, I'm Adil Ben Sarah. I'm a senior product manager at Fime since 2016, and I'm in charge of card and mobile functional testing solutions and our new testing platform.
Thank you very much, Adil. I will first give an overview of our global trends shaping the future of L2 card and mobile testing. Then I will talk about our experience with payment L2 functional testing clients, and then demonstrate Global Plus functionalities. Then we will wrap up and finish by some question and answers. So let's take a look on the trends that will impact testing in the coming years. The first one is the contactless payment. We've no doubt the contactless transactions are the most significant payment trends that emerged during the COVID-19. MasterCard has reported that 75% of all transactions in Europe are now contactless. We expect this figure to be even higher now, partly because the decision has been taken by 29 European countries to lift the limit of the contactless payment to help slow the spread of the COVID-19. To give you an example, in France, the limit has been uncapped from 25 to 50 euros for the contactless payment, and in UK, from 30 British pound to 45 British pound. With the increase in the use of contactless payment, the user experience is becoming a real challenge for manufacturers across all payment form factor, wearable, IoT, mobile and legacy card. Interoperability testing and live testing and production environment will be key to ensure rich field customer experience. But also the massive use of mobile phone in an in-app proximity and in-store channel is pushing vendors to ensure broad coverage of a broad payment applications and secure the rollout of host card emulation cloud-based payment application. The second trend is the massive disruption going on in the digital and open finance ecosystem. Fintechs and neobanks have been expanding very rapidly in the financial markets. And of course, these new entrants see opportunity in disaggregating the component of a traditional banking. So they are offering targeted card and payment solution with better experience, with a better service to both retail, consumer, and businesses. So today, 30% of the fintechs and neobanks are leveraging card and payment app in their portfolio. And in this context of rapid transformations, those fintechs and those neobanks are looking for rapid onboarding of payment card issuance, quick time to market deploying innovative payment issuance solutions, and also compliant PSD2 solutions implementing strong customer authentications and two-factor authentication solutions. The third one is the adoption of the new means of authentication in the payment channel. Thanks to the integration with mobile devices, many of us are interacting with some form of biometric authentication on a daily basis. Consumers are starting to see a number of benefits of using biometric as a form of authentication. And what are these benefits? The first one is no need to enter a PIN code at the point of sales for the proximity payment. No more limit on the contactless payment transactions, thanks to the biometrics strong customer authentications. And of course, the biometrics checks is directly performed on the EMV biometric card, which make the authentications very secure. It's important also to mention that the strong customer authentication has become a key piece of the European Revised Payment Service Directives, the well-known PSD2. And of course, the biometric authentications on card can very well fit in this space. Quite an interesting survey conducted by Mastercard shows that 90% of the cardholders are ready to upgrade their legacy plastic card to biometric card, seeking more secure payment experience. And on top of that, major payment networks are now mandating the validation of the functionality, the performance, and the security of vendors' biometric product. The last trend is about connectivity in IoT devices. We all know that IoT is being widely adopted, with a number of connected devices growing rapidly. From a consumer point of view, machine-to-machine communication, and also we see industrial applications including asset tracking, smart metering, to automotive solutions such as in-vehicle emergency call. The key component of this ecosystem is obviously the eSIM, and it's becoming the way to secure the interaction with these equipment. SIM market is expected to register a compound annual growth rate of 16% from 2020 to 2025. And we know that GSMA came up with a set of specifications to ensure all these devices are interoperable on the global scales, and whatever the devices or the service provider, and providing the way to stay compliant with existing and evolving standard and specification. So now let's talk about our experiences with the card and mobile payment vendors, especially talking about their challenges. So we conducted a survey with more than 30 of our customers, and we categorized the outcome into 4 main families. So starting with the challenges about productivity. To give you an example, managing the licenses of a test tools in an hardware token or dongle format represents a waste of time for the test teams. One of the common situations that the test teams are facing today is basically receiving the purchased dongle in one location and then dispatching them across different research and development locations. The other example that we can share with you today is the testing volumetric, the automation. It become a real challenge for card vendors, and there is a strong need to execute the test campaign in a batch mode and perform regression testing overnight without any tester action. From a product time to market point of view, sometimes deviations are observed between the system under test configuration settings used during the debug and tape approval phases and the system under test setting used during the pre-debug testing phases. So this obviously slows down the certification pace of the device and impact the time to market criteria. There is also the use of outdated brand test specification and test suites before the entry into the debug and tape approval sessions. So that also caused some delay certifying the product. The third pain point and challenges faced by our customer is the control on the test environment. There is a strong requirement to quick onboard on the test platform and manage the test suite allocation across multiple teams quickly and easily. Our client would like more flexibility in managing the test card sample, for instance, and no longer waiting for a sample to be produced and shipped, but using rather sample remotely. So we will see later in this webinar how we are answering to these pain points thanks to our brand new Global Plus test platform. So the last one in terms of cost, the control of the license fees, of the cost purchasing the tools, it's an important topic for the for the solutions vendor. And with a fixed yearly fee, it's interesting to see that it would give visibility on the cost over the year, and adopting new business model that subscription pricing plan could help to better manage the cost of the test tools. And also, in order to anticipate the cost associated with the travel of the test engineer at labs, it will be nice to let the solution vendors to perform the debugging, for instance, remotely. So now let's share some numbers. If we look closely on the pie chart at the right end of these presentations, that the majority of our clients are considering productivity as the most important testing challenges, followed by the product time to market, and equally distributed the cost and the control. So this is a good transition to my next slide. Now it's time to ask to the audience about your most pressing challenges that you are facing during your functional testing. So for that, please go on the slido.com website, enter the code FIME, F capital IME, and start the poll and select your most pressing challenges from the list shown on the slide. So you can select 1, 2, 3, or 5 of these pressing challenges that we listed on this slide. So Stephanie, I will hand over the presentation to you.
So we can see the result live. You can select more than one challenge if you wish.
So we'll give you some headroom to participate to the poll. Okay, it seems that the automated testing for
yes,
for achieving faster time to market is definitely on top of the list of the challenges. Okay, so like improve the efficiency of the testing is ranked second, and then increasing also the test coverage. Okay, thank you very much. We're gonna stop here. So it sounds like automating the testing to accelerate the time to market is definitely the winner. And that's interesting to see that how it's connected to the feedback that we got so far from our customers using our functional A2 test platform, not only the Global Plus. And we can see that starting from the left side to the right side, that our customers are willing to integrate upstream in the value chain of the testing or functional L2 testing platform directly into their continuous integration and continuous development chain, and also to automate their testing. Also, they are looking for a quick support from our lab expert during the debug sessions in order to find workaround and fix some issues to accelerate the certification pace. In terms of card sample management, there is also a strong requirement in order to ease the cloud sample management amongst the different teams, and they're looking for some way to better manage the switch between the different card sample and between the test cases. So now I will hand over the presentation to Adil Ben Sarah, who will introduce the key benefit and key feature of Global Plus.
Okay, thank you, Reza. I'm going to take it from here. So we have just seen the main challenges that you are all currently facing. And in order to address these challenges and drive innovation in testing, we are introducing our new functional test tool, Global Plus. Fime used its extensive experience in payments, telecom industries, and in testing to develop Global Plus. Global Plus is a solution that is working via a secure connection between the system under test and the cloud-based test engine through a test suite. And the system under test could be a card, a secure element, an embedded secure element, or a mobile application. And this is how Global Plus will help you overcome the challenges we have just seen. So our test suites are officially qualified by the authorities for pre-validation and lab certification. As it is a web-based solution, you can test anywhere using any PC. You just have to log in to our portal and start your testing. Our solution will enhance collaboration between teams located across multiple sites, and you will always benefit from a tool that is constantly updated in line with the latest specification and the latest test plan version. So on your side, you don't have anything to update. And you will also be able to control your costs thanks to our new annual subscription model, including all the specifications, updates, and test plan updates. So there is no extra fee to add when there is a major release of a test plan. Some key features. Using Global Plus, you will be able to access any system under test anywhere. So this is basically what I'm going to showcase in a few minutes during the demo. In order to plan and automate your testing and your non-regression testing, you will be able to integrate our solutions with your CI/CD framework. It means that you can drive Global Plus through command line and run any test suites using command line scripts. You can also insert some specific scripts between some test cases, for example, to reinitialize a card. And thanks to its scalable architecture, you will be able to run several test suites at the same time and execute the test cases in bulk or one by one. Also, you will be able to test several products simultaneously. You can imagine that you have 3 PCS readers connected to your PC, 3 different samples, and you can run all that at the same time and to test it at the same time also. And as it is an online solution, you will be able easily to share your test view with your colleagues and also with our Fime Labs experts. So it will be very simple to get some support from experts from our labs. And of course, without forgetting the basics of the testing, you will be able to get in-depth logs at a functional and APDU level for troubleshooting. So for the demo, basically, let's pretend I am an application developer and I want to test my eSIM application using Global Platform UICC Consumer Test Suites. I have organized my testing as follows. I have one test project composed of 2 test sessions, and each test session has different card configuration. Today I am working from home and unfortunately I don't have any card sample with me. So I will ask a colleague located in another country to provide me access to his sample remotely. And also at the end, let's pretend I will be off tomorrow, I will not be working and I don't want to delay my projects. So I will give access to my testing projects to this colleague. So now I will share my screen with you. Okay. So to start this demo, I have to connect first to Fime portal through a web browser. So today I'm using Firefox, and this is the homepage of our platform. What you will see will depend on your user profile and access rights. So here I am the customer admin of my company, and therefore I have privileged rights to manage sales orders, the products I have purchased, the licenses, and which user from my company is able to connect and to use the solution. I can, of course, add, delete a user, create a project, create a session, delete them, and manage all my testing environments like that. And just for explanation, a project is composed of several sessions, so it's just a way to structure and to organize your testing. And a session is linked to a test suite that will be executed. So here, I will take my project A. Within this project, I have two sessions, session 1 and session 2. And here we can see that on both sessions, I am the only user to access it. So to launch my test suite, I will have to click on this button and a tab is opened. And here we can see the test suite that will be used for my testing. So this is UICC Consumer v2.2. The first things to do here is to establish connection between my test session and my card reader. And we can do that thanks to a software that we call connector that we have to install on our PC. And the connector will make the link between our platform and the system under test and my card. So this is the connector. And remember, so this one is installed in my PC, but as I don't have any sample, no need to connect it. I will have to give my token to a colleague located somewhere else. And here you will see that the status of my connector will be, so now it is disconnected and it will be connected. So now you see my connector is connected. So it means that now I have access to the card reader of my colleague. So I will have to configure my testing, the application protocol ISO 7816, the reader name, it's a PCSC reader, protocol equals 0, and here to fill in the settings that my card is supporting. So it's either we do it manually or we simply import an XML file here, just like that. And once I'm done with my settings, I save them and I can go to the test tree of my test suite to execute my testing. So here I can see the test tree of my test suites. I have the total number of test cases. I have the test cases that have already been executed, the ones that are passed, failed, inconclusive, not tested, or not applicable. And of course, I can filter whatever I want. If I take the example, for example, this first test case, here I can see that I have made 3 executions since December the 3rd. And of course, each execution is stored in our platform and it's stored securely, of course. So here I can export the logs of this execution or delete it. I can delete it like that. And if I made a mistake, I just cancel and it comes back. Here I select this test case and I can run it. The test is ongoing. So now I'm testing the sample of my colleague who is located somewhere else. The test is passed, and if I want clear visibility on my logs, I can reduce all that, and I have a full view of the logs, and I can even click on the display debug mode to have all the details of the exchanges between my platform, okay, so we have all the logs that we need. We have the CIPDU, RAPDU, and what I can do is to export my logs in HTML formats. On the other screen. So here we are following the structure and organization of the test plan. Here are my logs of the execution that I have just done here. So of course it's an HTML file, so you can save it locally. And at the end of my testing, if I need, I can create reports, so generate reports in the formats I need. So it's either HTML, Word, XML here for global platform. And I can display only the failed test or the inconclusive one. So here I will choose the HTML one and generate my reports. And this is my report. So here I can show you the same predicts than my platform. And I have all the test cases that have been executed with the predicts. We have an hyperlink to the logs. So when we click here, we have another tab opened with the logs of this test case execution. And at the end of my remember, so tomorrow I will not be working and I don't want to delay my project. So what I will do is I will give access. So now I'm the only one who can access this test session, and I want other colleagues access my test session. So I will go to the UICC consumer test suites, and I can either add a new user from my company, assign him a role, or here I have already done that with Reza and Charlotte. I can give them, for example, both access to this test suite. See the testing session. I have Reza and Charlotte who can now connect to our platform and use the test suite to take back the test where I left them today. So as a wrap up, what I've shown, so I've shown our collaborative platform allowing the remote system under test, so the remote card testing, and using Global Plus, I will bring you really as a capability to access your testing environments from anywhere. So using any PC, you just need to connect to our platform with your login and password. And we no longer need any dongle. We have now a flexible user management system. And that's all for the demo.
Thank you very much, Adil. So, so we are not only improving the functional card and mobile testing at Fime. We go much further by providing a test framework. So we name this test framework that Global Plus is part of, the Fime Test Factory. So what is a Fime Test Factory? So Fime Test Factory is a testing software framework that provides the foundation on which developers can build permanent application for any type of form factor. It enhances the collaboration with a centralized and unified Fime solution hosted in the cloud. It improves testing efficiency thanks to 5 value-added modules. So we can see on the right side of this slide, starting from the left, the MyTest process module that grants the ability to the user to create, to customize and manage workflow per product type. The MyTest Studio module, which allow advanced and simple way to create, modify, and publish test plan into the test suite. We have the third module, which is the MyTest Manager, which acts as a centralized cockpit to plan and monitor automated test campaigns. We have MyTest Record to archive all test logs and test data, including the test environments, versioning, user activity in a secure and cloud-based storage environment. Last but not least, we have the MyTest Integrate, which is a central gateway composed of APIs interconnecting external and third-party test platform, for instance, or test data database. With the Fime Test Factory, you can also access a wide range of expertise online. You can keep control on your testing cost. I was mentioning in my presentations that we introduced at Fime a new SaaS business model for our test suite and our test services. And our test suite, part of this Fime Test Factory testing framework, are constantly updated in line with the latest scheme specifications. So that brings me to the end of this presentation. Thank you for your listening and for your attention. It was a pleasure being here today. Does anyone have any questions or comments? You're more than welcome to share them. The Q&A session is starting now. You can use the tools provided by WebEx and share your question, and we'll be more than happy to answer. Thank you very much. So Stephanie, if you want to share the question, if we have some.
There is one question in the Q&A. Which programming language is basis for test case development?
So the program language that we are developing for the test case development is named at Fime, the Fime test description languages. It's a new way to structure the test plan. It's a new way to write a test plan into the machine-readable format. And the foundation of the Fime test description language is the JSON. JSON, sorry.
So here, yes, for the test plan, we are using JSON formats. And for the test script development and the low-level libraries, we are using Python.
Another question?
No more questions so far. Don't hesitate to enter your question in the Q&A on WebEx.
I think there is one. Can I include external DLL? I'm not sure I really understand these questions. If we can include external DLL, is that about drivers or cryptographic libraries? Okay, DLL for including crypto functions. I will hand over this question to our expert. So I don't know, Adil, if you got some answer for the cryptography functions. For me, the answer is absolutely yes. They are part of our low-level library.
Yeah, we are implementing all the crypto that we need to test the cards, but maybe we need more details about this question to better answer. But for sure, our testing solution is managing the crypto functions.
And we're supporting on the crypto lib for the GP libraries.
Yeah.
So if we got another questions, quite interesting one, thank you. Is it applicable for EMV terminal testing? So the answer is yes. Global Plus is one of the test suites that actually is taking over from a legacy test platform, which was named previously Global. And there is and our plan is to migrate also the functional L2 testing for terminal kernel into the Fime test factory framework. So there is an Eval Plus test platform. The other question is where live logs are gathered.
So our logs are all saved and archived in our platform in the cloud, and everything is encrypted. And of course, each user and each company will only see his testing environments. So everything is securely stored and archived in our platform.
Thank you, Adil. The other question is, what about ADVT and terminal integration testing, which is related? This question is related to the L3 test services. And it is also indirectly related to Savvy, our well-known terminal integration test platform. So exactly same answer for that I provided for Eval. Savvy Plus, the Savvy legacy test platform will be also migrated into the Fime test factory, and there is plan in 2021 to have a terminal integration testing supporting all existing brands test suites, of course, MTIP and ADVT or part of it. And will be supported by the Fime test factory, and the name will be Savvy Plus. So we have another question. So we will dip card in device, but log or live in Global Plus Fime test suite.
Yes.
The answer is yes, but I will let Adil.
So in fact, what you need to perform your testing is our software that we call connector. So you have to install it in your PC, and you will have a PCSA reader. So you will dip your card in your PCSA reader, and you will use our platform to execute your testing. So in fact, Global Plus will be hosted in the cloud. In your laptop, you will have the connector, which will make the link between our platform and your PCSA reader. And all this through HTTPS. And thanks to that, where you will be able to test any card from anywhere. If you are located in a country and your colleague with a sample, as I did a while ago, in another country, he will have to insert his card in his PCSA reader, and you will have to link your test session in the cloud with his connector locally. And this, you do that through the token.
Thank you, Adil. That will be the super fast turnaround. Thanks, you made our day. Welcome. Maybe your last questions that we can pick out of the one we were receiving. When Global Plus will go live? Is it available right now? And it has been quite if it has been qualified by GP.
Yes, so in fact, the environment I have used is live, is in production, and it's available today for customer use. And regarding global platform, yes, our test engine has been qualified by a global platform. So our test suites are qualified by a global platform, yes.
Another questions related to mobile testing, where test suites are not certified. Is it possible to modify existing tests or create some new one? If it's possible to modify tests, are we able to share those modifications to the different user of my company? Just reading again the questions related to mobile testing, where test suites are not qualified. Is it possible to modify existing test or create some new one? If it's possible to modify test, are we able to share those modifications to different users of my company?
So here, to me, if I understand correctly the question, you will need another module along with Global Plus, which will allow you to customize your testing, to create new test cases, and of course, you will be able to share them with your colleagues. But for that, you will need to use Global Plus along with another module of Fime Test Factory.
And this module is My Test Studio, as I had the chance to present during my last slide. And what is interesting with My Test Studio is the outcome of this module is a machine-readable test plan that could be consumed directly by the test suite. So on top of being able to share that with your work colleagues, from just one click, you can publish this test plan, this machine-readable test plan, into the test suite and start your test campaign. So no need to script back from, I would say, human readable test plan and spend times to convert that into machine readable test plan. Okay, thank you very much. We will end now this webinar. And again, that was a pleasure for me and Adil to be part of this webinar. I remind everyone, if you can just spend 2 seconds to answer the 5 questions at the end of this webinar. And please also take time also to go through our website if you would like to replay this webinar. And if you got any questions, do not hesitate. Adil and I will remain at your disposal to answer any questions.
Thank you.
And happy Christmas. Bye-bye.
Bye.